Hi YouTube, this is Joe Calton with Calton Cutlery. You can find me on the web, caltoncutlery.com. So today I'm shooting as many videos as I can because it's been a while since I shot videos. But and I pulled this out while I was doing the last one. This right here is the Smith's combination coarse fine interrupted surface diamond hone. You pick these up at Walmart. They come apart, or they go back together like that, and then come apart and go back together. You pick these up at Walmart for 20 bucks or so, right? They are an excellent small sharpener. I've had, goodness knows, I've probably had 20 or 30 of these things. And they used to, anyway, I want to say they used to have a lifetime warranty on the card that was in the package. I never sent one back. I figured as much good service as I get with these in between having to get a new one, you know, and 20 bucks, I just go ahead and keep supporting Smiths and the fine job that they're doing making these. Typically, I use the coarse side until it's worn out. A lot of times the fine side will still have plenty of life left in it. I just don't particularly care for an edge that's as fine as the fine side of this. Just from memory, the coarse side is rated at a 325 grit, and the fine side is rated at a 600 grit. Now I do not know if those ratings are when the stone is brand new or after it's been broke in. I do know that they will wear out. They say diamonds last forever. Well, not in this case. You use one of these enough and you will wear it out. So a lot of times what I'll do is on a fresh one, like this has only been in the shop for a couple of months now, and I don't sharpen everything on it, just, you know, some things. Fresh out of the box, the coarse side is a little bit too coarse, and the fine side is just about perfect for the toothy edge that I like. Now after you sharpen, I don't know, 15 or 20 knives, something like that, then the fine side for me becomes too fine and the coarse side becomes perfect. So like I said, I'm not too sure how they do the rating system on their grits, whether that's fresh out of the box or after it's been broke in. But fresh out of the box, you will have, I mean, it'll be an aggressive cutter, but you'll have like bits and pieces of stuff that might be like, you know, a clump of diamonds in one spot, that as you use it, those high spots will kind of get knocked off, and then it's considered broke in for me. So anyway, so what I decided, or what I wanted to do on this video is go ahead, and what I use these the most for is sharpening these. Okay, this is just a plain old Stanley utility knife. It says number 199 on it. And of course this type is the one that's got the screw. So you take that screw out. We'll just go ahead and do that right quick, although you guys have probably already seen it plenty of times. You take that screw out. It holds extra blades inside the handle. You know, you take that blade out, grab another one, put it in there, put it together. Now this style right here, it doesn't have any protection for the blades. Okay, so the blades are just kind of flopping back and forth in there all the time. You know, whether that dulls them up or not, I mean, this is cast aluminum. I think it does. But anyway, so by the time you take that screw out and then swap the blades and then put the screw back in, you know, for me, it's just faster just to sharpen the thing most of the time. So the video I just did, 2 videos ago, so maybe 2 or 3 hours, something like that, was me using my little keychain ferro rod, and I was using this to strike the sparks. So without getting the little lens out and everything, you know, I can see some flat spots. You know, scraping a ferro rod is pretty hard on an edge. I can see some flat spots up in here. You can see on this side where you know, the sparks discolored the side of the blade, and the point's dull. Okay, so what we're going to do right quick is we're going to sharpen the thing back up. So I put it on one side. Now here, like I said, I'm shaping and getting the burr all at the same time, because these are pretty thin and we're not really removing a whole lot of metal. Okay, so I can kind of feel a burr is starting to come up here and not down here, and then if I look at my scratch pattern, I can see that I'm right at the edge and I've still got the factory marks up here. So for this knife, since more than likely it's going to get, you know, beat up, we're going to go a little bit steeper on the edge angle. Alright, now I can feel a burr starting to form on the other side. So now we go to the other side. And this stone right here is just about the perfect width for doing these utility blades. So we'll bring up a burr on that side. I can feel a light one, and it is, we need just a couple more strokes on that side, I think. Now, these interrupted sharpening stones, they work really good for most things. Anytime you're going to be doing something, you know, like really fine, like fish hooks. Well, this one right here has got a groove cut for the fish hooks, but it's also got like a little spot right here where there's no interruptions. For like when you're going to take and like sharpen up the, if you're going to sharpen up the tweezers on your pocket knife, okay, well, those interruptions will catch. They'll catch the corners there. So there you'd come up to this section right here that's just a continuous surface, you know, and sharpen your tweezers up, which works really good having the sharper tweezers, because then you can like say you got a deep splinter, well then you can use the tweezers to kind of cut around that splinter and then grab it and pull it out. So where were we? Okay, so we got a burr on one side, move the burr to the other side. Now we're going to weaken the burr. Yeah, I don't know if you noticed the change in the sound, because I was using much less pressure, because now we're refining and moving the burr back and forth and weakening it all at the same time. So now let me look at the edge. All my bright spots are gone. The point looks good. So now we really go to weakening this burr. Now this steel right here, the steel that are in utility blades, is really good stuff. I mean, for what it is. It's one of those things you're kind of amazed. You know, I mean, in the cutlery world, you know, usually the cheaper something is, the less quality you get. Well, that might be the same everywhere. But, you know, I mean, I've got around here somewhere these utility blades. I don't see it. But somewhere around here, I have got a pack of, goodness, like 100 of these little blades right here. And I want to say it cost me like $5, maybe $10, something like that. I mean, that's an awful lot of cutting performance for $5 or $10. I'm not sure where else you can get that kind of cuts per dollar. Anyway, so we're going to weaken the burr up some more. Okay, now that burr is nice and weak, I can feel it just trying to hang on, but not much of it at all. Now we're going to go ahead and shear the burr. Remember, about twice the angle that you used to sharpen and get the burr is the angle that you remove the burr with. Okay, so this edge looks pretty good. Like I said, I don't see any light reflecting from the edge anymore. You know, when I look straight down on the edge, I see nothing where the sides meet. I see the, you know, the shoulder right here where the sharpening marks end, but I don't see any reflection of light up in here. I do see that I have a small chip right about there, and honestly I'm just going to let that go. You know, this knife, I mean, it gets so beat up that one little chip, if I was just to go ahead and sharpen it all the way to a good edge every single time, I would wear it out in a matter of, you know, I don't know, a week or two, something like that. And most of the time with resharpening these things, they last me, you know, a month, maybe 2 months, something like that. I'll end up taking it out of the case, and it'll be, you know, clear back to here or so. So anyway, so it looks good. The point looks good. There's that one little chip. I can't see the reflection of any light. And I don't know if you guys can see, but there's some hairs popping off. I mean, it could be a little bit better. But like I said, I was just using this to scrape sparks off of a ferro rod. You know, so I scrape a lot of gaskets with this. You know, remove burrs off metal. A lot of times, you know, I'll have a piece of brass that I'm working on and it's got a little bit of a burr there, you know, so I'll just scrape that little bit of a burr off. That's what this knife gets used for the most. So, you know, being able to sharpen it in just a minute or two, you know, when I'm not flapping my gums, it'll sharpen up quite a bit faster. And then toss it to the side and, you know, away you get back to work. So anyway, so these little Smith's diamond hones are, you know, really nice for the 15-20 bucks you pick them up for at Walmart. If you did want to, you could store it like that, you know, in a backpack or a drawer or something like that. One of the knife blocks that I have here on my bench, it's got a square hole that it fits perfectly in. I really like the 325 grit edge that these things give you. As far as I'm concerned, the Smiths and the DMTs are roughly the same. They do sell the Smiths in much larger hones, as well as in these kitchen steels, which I'll have to review that again here, or review it for the first time pretty soon. And anyway, yeah, they're just amazing stones. They cut quick. They leave a nice toothy edge that I like, that's really crisp. Cuts really good for a long time. And they sharpen up these, you know, disposable razor blades really fast. Anyway, again, this is Joe Calton with Calton Cutlery. You can find me on the web, caltoncutlery.com. Oh, I forgot. Remember, get the burr, weaken the burr, remove the burr. Okay, that's all there is to sharpening. If a knife or a pair of scissors or whatever, or an axe, whatever it is that you're working on sharpening, if it's sharper when you get done sharpening it than what it was when you started, then you are doing a good job of sharpening. Sharpening is easy. Everybody ought to be doing it. And there's nothing to it. Again, Joe Calton, caltoncutlery.com. Hope you enjoyed the video, and we will see you next time.